Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I wanted to make a little video to show you guys, first of all, what it means to crochet in the back loop. Sometimes you'll get a pattern that says BLO, back loop only. So I wanted to show you what that looks like. And then I also, while we're at it, wanted to show you how to do this single crochet back loop only ribbing. So usually sometimes the reason why you would be asked to crochet in the back loop only of something is essentially to create ribbing, right? So if you think about like the cuffs on a sweater, this is ribbing, right? This one is knit, but this one's crochet, kind of the equivalent of it. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to start with the chain. We'll do a regular single crochet row to begin with, and then I will show you what does it mean to do back loop only. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to go ahead and create a slip knot. Okay. And if you don't remember how to do that, that was my very, very first video. So go ahead and watch that one first. Okay, so I'll tighten it, and then I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe 16 chains. Just going to make a little rectangle. Okay. Oops. Okay, so here I've got them. So let's just count our chains. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One more. Okay, 16. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do a row of single crochets. So if you guys have ever watched my other videos, you hopefully remember that I like to skip my first two and then single crochet in the third chain. Okay, so single crochet across. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished the chain here for us, or sorry, the single crochet row here for us. And let's go ahead and do 2 chains. Okay, so chain 1, chain 2, and then let's turn our work around. Okay, so now the back loop only. Let's look very carefully at the anatomy of our stitch here. So not from the side, but from the top. Do you see how each stitch is kind of a little V that's created there, right? So this guy is one single stitch. So this one here, the one that faces us, that one is called the front loop. Okay, so if I wanted to crochet in the front loop only, I would go ahead and insert my hook. So usually you'd stick it through both of them, right? And then you do your thing. But this time, if I want to do front loop only, I'm going to put my hook under only the front, the one closest to me loop. Okay, and then the back one is kind of left here. We did not crochet into that one. Okay, so that's the front loop. If I wanted to do back loop only crochet, your pattern says BLO, back loop only, and it doesn't matter which stitch you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's a single crochet, double, half double, whatever it might be. The back loop is essentially the little loop that's further away from you. Okay, so to do the back loop only, I'm going to have to look from the top, not from the side, and I'm going to insert my hook through the center of the little V of the stitch and only under the one that's further away from me. Okay, and then you can do yarn over and do your single crochet. Okay, so when we do that, the front loop is left over, right? It has not been used. I have not crocheted through it. Okay, so let's do another back loop only. So turn it for the top to face you, and then insert your hook through the little V, through the stitch, and under only the back loop. Okay, and then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, there we go. So let's do another one. Not using that one, just using this one. Okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. I'm just doing single crochets. So what you can see here is that what's being created is this little row of the front loops that I've skipped. So if I take a look back at my little creation here, that's what creates these little rows that stick out. And basically that's what makes the ribbing. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish the rest of our row and do just back loop only single crochets. Okay, so pause the video and finish the row up until the last one there, and then I'll show you what to do there. All right, so I went ahead and I single crocheted back loop only up until the end here. Now I just have a couple stitches left. So I want to show you how to deal with these. For this one's still a regular stitch. So I can just go ahead under the back loop only, okay, and do a single crochet in there. This one here is from the 2 chains that we skipped at the beginning. Remember how at the start I was like single crochet in the 3rd chain. These are the 2 that we missed. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to face it this way, and then I'm just going to pick out a loop here to single crochet into. Okay, so I picked, so if you take a look, this is chain 1, chain 2. I went and looked at my chain, and I picked kind of what looks like the back one in this scenario as well. Okay, there you go. There's a whole row here. So let's do chain 2. Turn your project, and I never ever crochet into the same one as where my stitches or where my chains are. That counts as a stitch right there. This is replacing the single crochet that would have gone there. Okay, so let's take a look at our next stitch here, and let's single crochet back loop only once again across the whole entire row. Okay, so if you're looking at this little stitch here, again, putting your hook through the center under only 1 loop and pulling through. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and finish the row off until the last 2 stitches here. Then I'll show you what to do there. Okay. So I'm coming up on the end of my row here, and I've got 1 more regular stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and do the back loop only, single crochet in that last regular stitch. And then remember how I chained 2 and then I turned and I skipped the first one, right? So I'm going to have to work in the 2nd chain from the start, okay? So I'm going to once again go ahead and face it this way, and then I'm going to pick out some sort of a loop there to single crochet into. Okay, so I'm going to pick out maybe this one here. Okay, it looks like the 2nd loop of the chain, as you can see there. So I'm going to stick my hook through there and do another single crochet, chain 2, and then you'll turn. So this is kind of what it's starting to look like. So this is what it kind of starts to look like once you've got lots of rows. And what's nice about this stitch, and what I love about this stitch and why it's so widely used on clothing, is because it's stretchy and it can retain its forms. After you stretch it, it goes back, right? So exactly what we would want kind of on the ribbing of a hat or like a sleeve cuff or a neckline or something like that, okay? All right, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial.